Hey, Matthew. I guess you can hear me. They can hear me across the stream. I'll have a little hard time hearing you, but I'm going to sit next to you, and we're gonna fight through this. We had some technical issues on our way in, and game on's fighting through it. We're going to have a good broadcast.
Absolutely. We're going to get after it, just like the Scots and the Trojans are going to get after it this season. This is the second matchup between these two teams. Newman Smith got out to a 9-0 and 26-13 lead the last time these two faced off before Highland Park got hot and ran away with it. Right now we're going to have our starting lineups. Highland Park and Newman Smith. Beautiful rendition of our national anthem. And now we have the starting lineups.
starting line for Newman Smith Trojans. At guard, number 1, sophomore, 6'3", Jonathan Wood. At guard, the 6-foot freshman, number 2, Michael T. At wing, the 6'3" junior, number 5, Jeremiah Sweet. At guard, 5'10" junior, number 10, Shane Edmund. And at guard, 6'1" junior, number 15, Jaden Collins.
And that was the starting lineups for both Highland Park and Newman Smith. Highland Park winning the first matchup between these two, 66-37, John. And now they get the Newman Smith team that is looking to play spoiler. They're 2-8 in district, but they have given some games away, including the last one against Reedy this past Tuesday evening.
Yeah, this has all the makings of a trap game, Matthew. You know, they come in 2-8. This is a much better team than a 2-8 team. They've lost. They're much better at home than they are on the road. They've got 3 home losses at home, less than 4 points. So, you know, Highland Park came off of a huge win on Tuesday night against the Colony. They've got a huge matchup coming up this Tuesday against Reedy. This is one game you cannot overlook this team. You just got to lock in and take care of business.
And I know Coach Peeler had that talk with the Scots. The Scots win the tip, and they get it immediately over to Cannon Wide. Chris Martinez was looking to rebound it, but they're going to say off on Martinez. Cannon Wide, Chris Martinez Jr., Cade Kaplan, Conrad Noble, Will Saunders. Those are your 5 Scots on the floor for Newman Smith. Jonathan Woods, Michael Teague, Jeremiah Sweet, Chase Edmond, Jaden Collins, 3 juniors, a freshman, and a sophomore starting for the Trojans. A very good guard-heavy team.
Yeah, you thought we were young. These guys are super young. These are babies. They were babies last year when we played them. They've gotten 1 year older. They've gotten better. This is going to be a program to watch next year.
And as you all remember from the first game, they can shoot. They get hot in this building, and, hey, you're going to find yourself in the shootout. But Big Will, he came ready to play tonight, cutting to the basket immediately, getting the Scots on the board 2-0. 7 minutes and ticking here in the first quarter.
Well, it took us several minutes to get our first points in the game last time, and we're on the board with inside of a minute.
And there's Chase Edmond, the junior guard. 3 points, 3-2, Newman Smith leads. And to that point, Newman Smith jumped out to a 9-0 lead in that first matchup. And a 26-13 matchup lead as well at halftime. Ball on the floor, Sweet coming up, Edmond coming up with the steal. And then they get it over to Jaden Collins. Jaden Collins, he's going to kick it right back outside to Chase Edmond. But look at Cannon Wide on the run. Good move in the paint. Cannon Wide, 2 on the board. Highland Park 4, Newman Smith 3.
In the last game, it was good shooting by Newman Smith to start off. There's also a little bit of a lack of energy by Highland Park. Just kind of came out a little slow. They hit the ground running, kind of started the second quarter. I think Newman Smith scored 18 points in the first quarter. They scored 19 points for the remainder of the game. Highland Park held them to 11 points for the entire second half.
That is correct. Highland Park with a huge second half in that first matchup. And Chris Martinez with those busy hands, as is Cannon Wide. But Chase Edmond maintaining possession. That's Jeremiah Sweet, another junior guard on that Newman Smith squad. Getting a good look at Jonathan Woods, the sophomore. Nice turnaround. Can't get it to go because of good defense. Big Will soaring high for the rebound. Big Will on the run. Cannon Wide pulling the trigger. Nothing doing. Rebounded Jeremiah Sweet, but stolen away from Cannon Wide. Cannon Wide, 4 points.
Active hands there by Conrad. Stripping the ball off of a rebound and fell into Can's hands, and he took advantage and finished up his 3-shot with a 2 and knocked it down.
And Conrad Noble, as always, doing things that do not show up on the stat sheet. Chris Martinez, more good defense, a contested shot. Possession, Newman Smith. Newman Smith in all white, green numbers and lettering. Highland Park, all gray, blue numbers, gold trim. Navy stripe down the side of the jersey and the shorts. Three-pointer up. Nothing doing but Sweet soaring high for a rebound. And behind the back and back over to Woods. But Conrad Noble eyeing him down. Look at Chris Martinez almost coming up with another steal and a fast break.
I thought he got a foul there. They called it out on Chris there. Newman Smith's kind of a two-headed, three-headed monster. 1, 5, and 10 are their players. The last game, we talked about their hot shooting. Woods and Sweet were both 2 of 3 from 3 for 4 of 6. The rest of the team was 1 of 15. So if you can kind of keep those guys at bay, you'd like to try and just say, let the rest of the guys beat you. Let's see if that'll play out for the Scots tonight.
And that is exactly what the film shows with Newman Smith when you turn it on, John. Great analysis, great breakdown. As always, I appreciate you, and I thank you for that. And thank you for getting on the call with me as well.
You bet. That's my Friday night plans this year.
Absolutely. These guys getting after it. Big wheel locking up. They're going to say jump ball, possession, Newman Smith.
So we're not going to look ahead. And as the game goes on, if Highland Park can kind of get into a groove and we can start talking about next week, got to take care of business tonight. But this is, again, like I said, we can't let, overlook Newman Smith. They play really well in this building. They've got 18 wins on the season. They beat some good teams this year.
Absolutely.
They knocked down, I think they beat West Mesquite, who knocked Highland Park out of the playoffs last year in the third round. So that was a big win for them early in the season. They beat ESD. They beat Bishop Lynch. Those are all playoff teams. So they have the ability to knock off good teams.
Cannon Wyatt drawing the foul. We got some substitutions already. Alex Stockwood, Charlton Bradford subbing in. Conrad Noble, Cade Kaplan, they're going to take a seat. We're without Spencer Amundsen tonight. We're going to send a prayer up for him. Get well, Spence.
Definitely, Spencer. We're short-handed without you tonight. We're going to get you back. Nice bucket there by Chris.
Chris Martinez Jr. chopping behind the back, between the legs, got into the paint for 2 points. Scots lead 8-5. And one game at a time. That is of the essence. That is important. Highland Park 8-2, a top district, tied with Reedy, who Newman Smith lost to by 2 points this past Tuesday evening.
Yeah, they gave him a scare for sure. Highland Park's in their man-to-man. We started off the game like this last time against them. They were pretty successful against our man. We went into our 1-3-1 in the second half, never really got out of it. Newman Smith just could not figure it out. My guess is Coach Peeler kind of going to do the same thing. I'm assuming Newman Smith probably assumed we were going to start in our 1-3-1 because it was so successful against him in the second half. Last game, we started off in our man. Look for us to, especially if the game stays close, to drop into that 1-3-1 zone.
Yes, sir. Charlton Bradford active on the boards. Tied up for a jump ball possession. Scots. Martinez stolen away. Newman Smith trying to get on the run. Jonathan Woods cannot control it. And it's going to go right back to the Scots.
That's just a young team there, just, making a inexperienced mistake. They had the break, a little throwaway. That's the things you got to count on playing a young team, is to get them to throw the ball away and make mistakes.
Scott's back with it. Will Saunders setting up a screen for Martinez. On the move, gets into the paint. Cannot draw the foul. Jaden Collins came up with it. But Martinez with the steal. Draws the foul. That time he's going to shoot 2.
Get a missed shot. You just continue to play hard. Apply the pressure. Get them to make a mistake. Throw the ball over. And it turns into two free throws here for Chris.
A scrappy game, as we can see already, as Martinez gets to the free throw line. Free throw 1 up is good. And he's got 3 points.
You see our rotation, our substitution pattern, playing with just the 10 guys tonight. Cade and Conrad went out. Give them a quick blow. Minute later, they're rolling back in for Cannon and Will. We'll also, we're probably going to see Drew. We may see everybody tonight. again, playing with a short bench.
Noble and Kaplan subbing back in, joining Stockwood, Martinez, and Bradford on the floor. Noble, the big man, as they go with 3 guards and a combo guard forward with Bradford. And they stay man for now, but they switch up and into the paint looking for a shot. But Conrad Noble and Bradford right there. And that's Davin Beal in the game, number 12 for Newman Smith. Ball on the floor. Charlton Bradford is still. Cade Kaplan, the busy hands. Martinez on the move. Gets it over to Alex Stockwood for 3. Stockwood. Alex Stockwood continuing to stay hot, John.
We didn't really get a break in our play there for me to talk about. Let's see if Alex Hot Hand can say from the last game, 5 of 6, coming off of missing 3 weeks with an injury, came off of the bench, or came off of the injured reserve last week to knock down 5 huge shots, win us the game. Honestly, Alex was the MVP of that Colony game, and then first time he touches it, corner shot, bingo. He's a heck of a shooter.
And that was his first game back from injury. He was out for quite a while.
Missed 6 games, and that's hard to do.
And Coach Snowden told me before the Colony game that Alex was going to be on a pitch count. But by game's end, you couldn't tell.
No, I think he played 24, 25 minutes. And, you know, he had his lungs. He had enough gas to keep going.
And he energized the crowd as well. Cade Kaplan, another steal. Scott's with it. Took a shot to the face, but he's okay. Chris Martinez getting it over to Stockwood. Stockwood into the paint. Back out to Chris. Back out to Cade Kaplan, pulling the trigger. Nothing doing, but Charlton Bradford right there. Money in the bank. Martinez over to Kaplan. He saves it. And going to go right back to Chris. Conrad swings it around to Charlton. And Charlton Bradford going to put it on the floor. You see Newman Smith looks to be manned up across the board themselves. They switch.
Let me say this about, let's just watch this action here.
Kaplan, 3. Yes, sir.
Well, just stole my thunder there. I was just about to say, the miss that Cade had over on the wing there, it's a great shot.
Yes,
it's a shot that Cade's got to take. He'd lost a little bit of confidence in his shot. There were some shots that he had passed up in the last few games. I think Coach Snowden, Coach Peeler said, hey, Cade, when you're open, you got to take that shot. He took it. He missed it. We get the rebound, get the ball back to him, knocks it down in the corner. That's huge for his confidence.
Beautiful corner 3 from Cade Kaplan as we get to the final seconds here of the first quarter. And they're going to get Chris Martinez Jr. for his first foul. He's going to take a seat. Kennon White going to sub back in for him. Chris going to the bench with 4 first quarter points. Leading the way for the Scots, tied with Kennon White, who has 4 also. Newman Smith getting it in. And there's Michael Teague, draws the foul from Kennon White.
That's a take foul there. We've got 1 foul. We get 5 in the quarter before they're in the bonus. You know, they're late in the clock here. We're just taking fouls, trying to get them out of rhythm and not let them get a shot off here before the fourth quarter ends.
John, I think you remember how the first quarter ended in that first matchup.
Oh, yeah. Three-quarter court, half court. It was beyond half court.
Yes, sir. Jonathan Woods with it. Nothing doing. Charlton Bradford, the rebound. That's how the first quarter ends. Highland Park, 16. Newman Smith, 5. Updated for leading scorers. Chase Edmond leading Newman Smith with 3 points. 2 from Jonathan Woods. And for your Highland Park Scots, 4 from Chris Martinez Jr., 4 from Kennon Wyatt, 3 from Alex Stockwood, 3 from Cade Kaplan, 2 from Will Saunders. And John, it looks like the Scots came out focused.
It's a lot better first quarter than the last time. I think it was 18-12 for Newman Smith at Highlander Fieldhouse. We come in their place. We got them down 16-5. Let's just keep the foot on the throat and finish this off.
Scott's not drinking a Kool-Aid. They know what is in front of them. They know what needs to be done in order to get out of here with a victory and stay atop of district play, because they do still have a long way to go, and things can change quickly.
Absolutely. Coming off of a hot shooting game against the Colony. We hitting their threes early on in this one. was a great shooting game. It was a great overall efficient basketball game by Highland Park on Tuesday night. 12 for 12 from the line, 9 of 19 from 3. We scored, points per possession is a big analytic stat that we look at these days. 1.35 points per possession. That's about as high as we've done all year. This was just a great overall offensive game. We didn't score a ton of points. I mean, we'll score 70, 80, sometimes 90 points a game. It wasn't a huge high-scoring game. It was just a super efficient scoring game.
Look at Charlton Bradford with that defense. And one thing we saw on Tuesday evening against the Colony, the Scots were very good about picking their shots. Yeah. They did not press. They did not rush. They did not force anything.
Well, I'm going to give you another great stat from the other night.
Conrad Noble whistled for an offensive foul.
We had 21 made baskets. 17 of them came with assists. As over 80% of our baskets were assisted. That is that's huge. I mean, the highest ratio assist to made buckets you'll see in NC2A, NBA. I mean, if you're in the 70s, you're killing it. We were at 81% on Tuesday night.
And ladies and gentlemen, that's what I was talking about with the elite color commentary. That is elite color commentary. Your commentary just as efficient as the Scots were on Tuesday night against the Colony. Thank you for that.
Stats don't lie, Matthew. Stats don't lie.
They do not. And there's a long, high-arcing three from Jeremiah Sweets, getting the Trojans to within 16-8. And free throws, 12 for 12 against the Colony. That was the difference. And Cannon White, 6 points, the runner on the baseline.
The two biggest free throws of the night came from Spencer, up 1, knocked down 2 pressure free throws at the end of the game, give us a 3-point lead. That way we finished off.
And Jonathan Woods right there cleaning up the missed basket. Sophomore's got 4 points for Newman Smith. Scots lead 18-10. 6:28 to go and ticking here before halftime. Drew Fisher, Will Saunders, and Chris Martinez Jr. are headed to the scorers table. Scott's getting ready to go big.
I don't know if you notice, I'm warm in here. Right? It's a warm, for a February night. It's a warm night outside. It is hot in this gym. I noticed Zach took his undershirt off. We see some other guys, some undershirts. Watch for dehydration, sweating. Might be a factor with these teams tonight. It's a really hot gym.
Drew Fisher, Will Saunders. Look at Big Drew cutting to the basket, being hounded, and they get the steal from him. There's Michael Teague on it. Fisher, Saunders, Martinez, Kaplan, White on the floor for the Scots. Lob, layup good by Jeremiah Sweet. He's got 5 points, 18-12. Scots lead.
Key part of the game here. They're on a run. We just got to settle down, have a good possession, get a bucket, and we got to play a little bit better defense. That was too easy down there on the other side.
Big Will cutting to the basket. Getting it back to Cannon White as he gets down the paint. Nothing doing. Rebound to Chase Edmond. Trojans on the move. Fast. Mid-range. Nothing doing. Great defense by Cannon White. Rebounded by Big Will. Look at Cannon. Look at Cade Kaplan on the move. But Drew Fisher cleaning it up. Offensive rebound. Get it back to Kaplan. Out to Martinez. Very physical game so far. Backcourt violation. And the refs letting them play a little bit.
Got a little frantic, got a little sloppy. Again, key part of the game was at 18 to, what are they, on a 4 or 6 point run here?
Yes, sir.
Calm down, get a stop. Let's see if we can't settle the game down a little bit. Maybe a good time to switch our defense up too.
7-2 run for Newman Smith. Scots led 16-5 at the beginning of the second quarter. And it is very, very warm. It was 88 degrees outside today. Texas weather doing what Texas weather does. And there's a shot up, but cannot go in. Big Will getting a rebound. He's been crashing the boards. Sure. Martinez straight down Main Street. Finger roll. Martinez, nice finish. He's got 6 points. Scots leads 20-12.
From Martinez there.
Beautiful Euro step. And Chase Edmond drawing the foul.
It's incredible the angles that Chris can get and that he knocks down. You know, he always tends to, he gets in the lane, uses his body, and uses the glass, and a lot of English on his shots.
Jonathan Wood subbing back in for Newman Smith, as has Gregory Dudley. He's also in the game for the Trojans.
Good dude.
And there, Jonathan Woods, 6 points, 20-14. Scott's lead, 4:24 to go. C. Kaplan with it. Get it over to Big Will. And back to Drew. It's going to go back to Cannon Wide. Cannon Wide running. Straight down the lane. Lay it up.
He loves that right hand penetration. You know, everybody in the district knows Cannon can shoot from outside, and they'll close out on those threes, and he's been taking advantage of it and getting himself to the basket.
That was the freshman Michael Teague. Good-looking freshman for Newman Smith. Couldn't get that one to go. But cannonball straight down the lane. Drew Fisher, another offensive rebound. And they say he traveled.
A lot of contact.
Lots of contact. 3:52. That's where the clock stops here before halftime. And Fisher, good to see him active on the boards. Conrad Noble going to sub back in.
Coach Beeler can probably feel the heat in here, too. You can see those are quick substitutions. Guys are getting a quick break, get some water, get off your feet. Boom, 2 more in, 2 out. 2 in, 2 out.
Stockwood on the floor as well. Great defense by Big Will. They're going to say he fouled him.
I say that, Coach Beeler. Coach Snowden does a lot of the substitutions. Coach Snowden's mom, Judy Snowden, always on our broadcasts on Friday nights. She's always there in the front row with Mindy Peeler sitting there at the front row. Road games, she's on the broadcast with us. Want to say hi to Judy. Great fan for a long, long time. Her husband, Bo Snowden, the late Bo Snowden, was a head basketball coach and athletic director at Highland Park for years, and now he's got his son on the bench with Coach Peeler. It's a great tradition.
And that was a big three-pointer from Chase Edmond. No Newman Smith to within 5. And there's a steal. Busy hands. Gregory Dudley coming up with it. Corner 3, Jaden Collins can't finish it. And Martinez tips it to Big Will. But Cannon Wyatt says, watch me hit this one. Cannon Wyatt, 11 first half points.
Good to see a 3 go down for Cannon early.
And look at Conrad Noble. And then forcing it off the hands of a Newman Smith player. Possession, Scott's back up by 8, 25-17. Chris Martinez getting it up the floor. Crosses midcourt. Jaden Collins staring him down. Big Will with it. And there's a steal from Chase Edmond. He's been busy. Out to Collins. Nothing doing, but they're going to say Conrad Noble fouled him.
So tough. You give a turnover at the top of the key is always going to lead to numbers going the other way for the other team. Just got to clean that up a little bit. There's a set play coming off of a screen off the top. We tried to get a little handoff, quick pass. They've got quick hands.
Yes, sir. Very similar to what you see with the guards on the Highland Park side. If they can't get a body on you, they're going to get their hands involved. Jaden Collins can't get the first free throw to go. Clock stoppage at the 2:30 mark. And I feel like it's actually gotten warmer in here, John.
Somehow. It's supposed to get cooler as the night goes on. Maybe they're pumping heat in here. They know we got a short bench tonight.
Cannon Wide was definitely fouled right there. And Wide, he's going to throw it in. Gets it into Big Will. Stockwood with it. Swing it around to Cannon. Cannon the 3. Cannot get that one to go. Rebounded Chase Edmond. Trojans on the move. And there's Jonathan Woods back with it. Woods has got 6 points for Newman Smith early. Conrad Noble eyeing him down. They switch. He gets into the paint.
Looks clean on the reach by Chris there. I guess they got Cannon on the foul.
Looks like they did get him for that one. And that is 5 fouls in the quarter which means Jonathan Woods, he's going to shoot 2 for Newman Smith. Charlton Bradford at the scorer's table. As Woods misses the first free throw, he's going to sub in for Conrad Noble.
You know, without Spencer available tonight, we got some guys sort of playing in some different positions. Charlton's normally going to be playing that 2-3 position. Spencer kind of plays a 3-4. He's kind of stepping in and playing some of Spencer's role tonight, playing some of that 4. Just everybody's got to adapt. Everybody's got to just next man up and figure it out.
It is a team sport. You got 5 guys on the floor for a reason, but Martinez Jr. getting into the paint. Charlton Bradford to follow and draws the foul. And Bradford doing what he does, playing the cleanup man role.
He's been great on the boards all year.
And Charlton, I got a chance to speak with his father, Steve, pregame. And says he is not planning on fouling out again tonight. Wasn't planning on it on Tuesday evening.
Well, he ended up getting credited for some fouls that I'm not sure were his. It was just one of those nights where it was just a bad luck where the ref turns around. He thought it was 11, and it was really 1. He thought it was 11, but it was 13. He fouled out pretty quickly, and I think 2 or 3 of them were his, and 2 or 3 of them were not.
That is correct. And but he's active right there. He almost forced another turnover. Stockwood was looking to get on the move, but it went out of bounds. Possession, Newman Smith.
I will say a ref, that refs noticed guys that are more active, a little bit more physical. Charlton definitely plays more energy, more physical. Here we are in our 1-3-1 for the first time. They tend to look at the guy that maybe is playing a little harder, more physical, and sometimes you get some fouls that credit to you that weren't.
Martinez in there, tying him up. Possession, Highland Park. Speaking of busy hands, there it is. And Martinez.
It's a tough position to play on that baseline in Coach Peeler's 1-3-1. So it's a lot of running. And you got to cover a lot of ground, and Alex does a great job with that, or Chris does a great job with that.
And look at Stockwood, the beautiful find to Big Will, who patiently lays it up for 2 more. Scott's back up by 10, less than a minute to go before halftime. And that was a 3-pointer that did not go, but Jonathan Woods, the follow, draws the foul. 9 points for the sophomore guard.
Just talked about that baseline position on the 1-3-1. That is what you're susceptible to, those offside long rebounds, because you got one guy back there. He's trying to cover, the strong side. Shot goes up. He's got to immediately get back over to the other side and box out. And the ball just happened to land in Newman Smith's hands. Luckily, we didn't get the 3-point play there.
Didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah.
Free throws. They are important. Big Will getting it over to Kaplan and back to Stockwood and go over to Saunders. He's going to go over to Bradford, who's going to go back to Will. And Stockwood with it. Stockwood over to Bradford. And Cannon Wide, they double him. Go back to Bradford. He was looking. Oh, boy, Cannon Wide was being held. Newman Smith still with it. Corner 3. It's good from Jaden, from Chase Edmond. 29-24. Cade Kaplan, 3-pointer. Nothing doing. Out on Newman Smith. And that's how the first half is going to end. Highland Park leading Newman Smith 29-24. That last couple of minutes was interesting. Cannon Wide was definitely held.
Well, I was about to say, I had the feeling, and they weren't intentionally fouling there. They knew they only had 1 foul in that quarter.
Right.
They were probably just playing, let's play extra pressure, get after him, don't let him just sit back and play for 1 shot there. Let's go get pressure D on him. If we get a foul, so be it. We've got 3 to give. They were playing hard. We didn't get the call. Fast break the other way, corner 3, and that's a big turn of event to end the quarter or end the half.
Now, this might be a time where Coach Peeler and Snout, and they go in the locker room and say, hey, guys, you see how things are being reffed? Let's play through it, and let's get out of here with a win.
That's right.
And we go down our list of Leading scorers first for Newman Smith. Chase Edmond has 9. Jonathan Woods has 9. 5 from Jeremiah Sweet, 1 from Jaden Collins. For your Highland Park Scots, Cannon Wyatt leading away with 11. Chris Martinez Jr. has 6. Stockwood with 3. Bradford 2. Saunders 4. Kaplan with 3.
Well, all but 1 point of their 24 comes from those 3 guys we talked about. 1 Woods, 5 Sweet, 10 Edmond. You got to make sure the other guys on the team, if they're gonna hurt you, those are the guys that need to hurt you, and do everything you can to keep 1, 5, and 10 off the scoring column. But they're the best players. They're going to get their shots. I do anticipate some switch up on our defense as we come out of the second half.
As it was the first time these first 2 matched up, a big adjustment at halftime of the last game, which held Newman Smith to 19 total points in the third and fourth quarter. We're going to take a quick break here on Game On Sports, where Highland Park is leading Newman Smith 29-24. I am Matthew Bryce. That is John Hochter. We will be back in just a moment. I'm glad I
I'll go behind you.
And welcome back to Game One Sports. I'm Matthew Bryce. John Hochter here with me for the color commentary.
That was the lovely Christina Hochter came over and took a photo of us.
Christina Hochter, wife of John Hochter and mother of Anderson Hochter. Shout out to, I'm going to start calling him Coach Hochter now because he is still very much connected to the team. And he's took that player role, that captain role, and turned himself into a coach.
Yep. You know, I was going to say earlier in the broadcast, when we talked about some guys stepping into different roles, we weren't sure what was going to happen when we lost Anderson in that first game of the season because he did so much for the team, energy-wise, rebounding, in addition to, leading the team in scoring in the fall. Guys like Charlton, Spencer, at that point it left us with basically two guys that had a lot of experience playing with just Will and Cannon, and it's really great to see all these guys stepping up and picking up in all those different roles.
And a lot of guys, not just that, but even some of the seniors on the team, some of them did not play varsity ball last year.
No, we had 4 returning seniors, 4 returning players. Spencer didn't get a ton of run last year, but he immediately picked up and boom, that's a big 3 for Cade there. But Spencer, immediately has become one of the keys to this lineup, and we really miss him tonight and need him to get well and get back.
And Cade Kaplan, confidence, corner 3, putting the Scots up 8, 32-24 here.
That's big for number 2, confidence. You get the shot, knock it down, and that was a big one, especially coming out, kind of finish that quarter pretty sluggish, start off and get a big 3 to start off the quarter.
And much like his best friend, Cannon Wyatt, Kaplan can shoot with the best of them. He can shoot from anywhere with the best of them. Cannon Wyatt, busy hands getting in the way, distracting, causing a turnover. Scott's ball, 6:50. We got a timeout on the floor. Newman Smith. They call timeout immediately. And during halftime was getting a good conversation in with some Highland Park alumni, Guy Frazier in the building. Very big supporter of Highland Park sports, even after he's graduated many years ago.
We have another huge supporter of the basketball program, Miss Ray. We've talked about her on the broadcast before. She's always on the broadcast on Friday nights, so we'd love to say hi to Miss Ray and love her energy at all of our games. So, hi to Miss Ray.
Miss Ray, thank you for tuning in. It is a pleasure, and thank you for the support. Met Mr. Puckett during halftime as well. Big shout out to him, the Amundsen family, as they are watching from home as well. The Bradfords in the building. The Jackson family supporting Zach, sitting just to the left of us, watching the Scots. And Newman Smith getting out on the run, corner 3. And there is Chase Edmonds. 12 points from the junior guard, 32-27, Scots lead.
They won't go away. So we got to put them away.
Absolutely. Newman Smith going to play hard in this one. Big Will can't finish that one. Edmond on the move. A dish on the run to Jaden Collins. He's got 3 points. Timeout, Scots. 32-29. 6:03 to go in the third period.
See Highland Park come out of the halftime, hit a big 3 in the corner. Things weren't looking the way Newman Smith wanted it. He gets a quick timeout. They come back out with 5 straight points in 2 quick possessions. Coach Peeler doesn't like what he sees. He bangs a quick timeout. Let's see if we can get the momentum back on our side.
5-0 run for Newman Smith as they start this fourth quarter. And 5-3 altogether. Cade Kaplan starting the quarter out. Second half out with a big corner 3. And then Newman Smith coming back with 5 consecutive right after that. Martinez getting it from Wyatt. Will Saunders, Cade Kaplan, Conrad Noble. Scott starting 5 on the floor right now. And Martinez going to get it over to Kaplan. Then guided down by Michael T. The freshman with some sticky defense. And almost stolen by Edmond. Cannon Wide gets it back. Big Wheel cutting to the basket. Cade Kaplan corner. Nothing doing. Conrad Noble working hard. Offensive rebound. Martinez can't finish it. Noble with another offensive rebound. But coming up with it is Jeremiah Sweet on the move. Jonathan Woods. 1 point game.
Newman Smith's got some really quick guards. They are overplaying all of those perimeter passes. We got to start working some backdoor cuts. Try and work the ball inside. This is kind of back and forth, side to side. Look at it. Every time we pass, they're getting after it, trying to get a steal.
Conrad Noble, another offensive rebound, but just Gregory Dudley coming up with it. And Newman Smith leads. Jeremiah Sweet with a cut, finger roll, fast break basket. Timeout, Highland Park.
Two quick timeouts. Coach Peeler, like to see some energy here. Things aren't going well. We got to get off the court, get on the bench. Let's listen to what we got to say here. We're going to try and change the momentum. I'm sure he's going to be talking about, meeting passes on the perimeter, maybe looking at trying to do some backdoor cuts. We do run a lot of set plays with backdoor. Maybe we'll see some of that as we come out of this second timeout in the first 3 minutes of the second half.
And we talked about Newman Smith playing spoiler coming into this game tonight. Coming off a 2-point loss against Reedy the other night, a game that they gave away actually. And only 2-8 in district. But they've given, other than that Reedy game, they've given about 4 others away here in district play.
Yeah, they're going to play you close. 2, 3, 4-point game one way or another, or it's going to get out of hand for them. But if it's a close game, they're in it. They are dangerous. That's what I was saying. You got the foot on the throat early in the first half. We needed to put them away. Now we just got to stem the tide back to our direction. Here we go. This is going to be a little backdoor action.
Charlton Bradford in the game now.
Yep,
Stockwood in the game with him. Cannon Wide. Ball on the floor. Gets it over to Martinez. Chase Edmond one-on-one with him. Look at Martinez. Straight down the baseline. Nothing doing. Rebounded by Jonathan Woods. Woods on the move. Woods straight down Main Street. Woods the finish. 13 points for Jonathan Woods. Newman Smith an 11-0 run, 35-32 the Trojans lead. Stockwood pulls it down, baseline runner, cannot finish, rebounded by Jeremiah Sweet. Woods with it again. Bradford almost coming up with a steal.
Good hands. It's a lot of shots in the paint that we've missed here in this second half. We're getting in there and just not able to get them to fall. Those are guys start to get our direction, and so we can turn this game around.
Big Wheel subbing in for Conrad Noble. And Woods with it. Backing down Martinez. Chase Edmond the 3. Rebounded Charlton Bradford. Soaring high for that one. And he gets it to Stockwood, who gets it to Martinez. Cannon Wide with it. Getting it over to Big Wheel. And Big Wheel back to the basket. Spinning. Busy hands from Newman Smith, but Cannon Wide right there. Get it out to Stockwood for a 3. Big 3 from Alex Stockwood.
That's how these threes are going to have to come in this second half. They're definitely putting pressure on the perimeter in our normal set. It's going to have to be a scramble sort of off of a second, third, fourth pass to get that open 3.
Alex Stockwood, that was his second shot of the night. Another 3, and he hits it. Trying to get the lob going. Charlton Bradford coming down with it. Draws the foul. Jeremiah Sweet was looking to lay that one in. But Bradford there to disrupt it. Cade Kaplan's going to sub in. Chris Martinez with a quick break. 35 all. 3-12. Third quarter. Scott's with it. Cannon Wyatt bringing it up the court. Chops straight down the runner, blocked by Woods. Saved by Big Wheel. Stockwood, corner 3. Look at Cade Kaplan to follow. Big basket for Cade Kaplan. Scott's back in front, 37-35. 5-0 run for the Scots. And there's busy hands, but getting it up, nothing doing. Stockwood the rebound. Soaring high for that one. Getting it over to Bradford. To Big Wheel. Getting it up the court to Cade Kaplan. Cannon wide at the basket. Beautiful ball movement and execution from the Scots.
Gotta love to see this out of Cade tonight. Didn't have a huge game on Tuesday night. Alex was playing well, and kind of a lot of the minutes were taken up there for the hot hand.
Alex Stockwood to steal. Big Wheel to the basket and one! Big Wheel to Teflon done. Let them know how you feel.
Well, that's how you turn it around. Momentum's definitely back on the Scott side. Finished the thought I had on Cade. You know, when you don't have your best game and you come out and he hit some early threes. There's a great looking pass there. He's been active on defense. It's great to see the senior step up.
9-0 run for Highland Park. 10-0 run for Highland Park. 7 points from Will Saunders. Highland Park up 42-35. Woods with it. We got a timeout. Newman Smith. Scott's crowd is fired up.
Pretty short triggers by the coaches this second half. They're feeling that momentum shifting quickly. You know, that's 4 early timeouts in this first quarter or third quarter, first part of the second half.
On both sides, both the Highland Park coaching staff, the Newman Smith coaching staff, both of them getting those timeouts in, as you stated.
Game of runs.
That it is, and we have seen that in this second half alone. 11-0 run from Newman Smith, followed by a 10-0 run from Highland Park. And Scott's back up 42-35. Possession goes over to Newman Smith.
Honestly, in a half-court game, this is where Highland Park's definitely going to be at an advantage.
Jeremiah Sweet with it, gets it in the woods. Gets it to go.
As soon as I say that, they get in a half-court set and they get an easy bucket. But I do like, if we're going to play a slower pace half-court game, I do think Highland Park's definitely in a definite advantage there.
Sophomore Jonathan Woods has got 15 points to lead Newman Smith. 42-37 Highland Park lead. Big Wheel with it. Puts it on the floor. Hook shot. Can't get it to go. Woods the rebound. And Newman Smith bringing it up. And Cannon Wide gets the foul.
It's one of those times Cannon definitely reached in. He turned around and trying to sell that he didn't. But we've got a couple to give here as the quarter winds down.
One foul for Highland Park this quarter, 2 for Newman Smith. 109 and ticking here in the third quarter. Coach Peeler on the floor coaching. Coach Percy Johnson for Newman Smith. One of the best in the business doing the same. Turnover, Trojans. Possession, Scots. Martinez subbing right back in. And now Cannon Wide going to take a break.
Now that looks a lot more like what we were showing in the first game at Highland Park in that 1-3-1 where they just don't really know how to solve it. And you're going to get a lot more turnovers and bad passes out of a young team.
And that one knocked out by Jonathan Woods. He was on Stockwood one-on-one. And those of you who just tuned in, we say thank you for tuning in to Game One Sports Network. Highland Park leading Newman Smith 42-37. Stockwood, the long three. Nothing doing. Big Wheel to tip, but rebounded by Sweet. Trojans on the run. Edmond with it, chops down Main Street, and he finishes. Chase Edmond, 14 points. Newman Smith back to within 3. 26 seconds to go here in the third period. Screen by Will. Cade Kaplan's got it. Going to go back to Bradford. And back to Martinez. And Saunders going to rotate out. Back to Stockwood.
He'll take that shot from Alex in the last possession. He's had the hot hand. You know, it's a deep three for sure, but those are ones that you don't mind him taking.
Look at Alex Stockwood. Beautiful ball rotation. That's how the third quarter ends. A very entertaining third quarter. Highland Park leading Newman Smith 44-39. Updated list of scorers. Newman Smith, Jonathan Woods with 15. 14 from Chase Edmond. 7 from Jeremiah Sweet. 3 from Jaden Collins. For your Scots, Cannon White, he's got 13. 8 from Cade Kaplan. 7 from Will Saunders. 6 from Chris Martinez Jr. Alex Stockwood with 8. Charlton Bradford with 2. John, it is crunch time.
Yeah, we just got to get into keep them from running and getting transition points, whether that's coming off of a turnover or a long rebound and go. They're definitely leaking out and trying to get some transition points off of missed shots. So, again, if we can get them into a slower paced, half-court set, I think we're going to be fine. And we just got to take care of the ball and not give up, big, long rebounds and runouts.
And Newman Smith, very good in transition. They've shown some of that tonight. Very active. We talk about busy hands all the time with this Scots defense, but Newman Smith with some of that themselves.
Yeah, and I anticipate them turning up the pressure even more, down 5 in the last quarter here.
Stockwood, Martinez Jr., Kaplan, Noble, and Saunders, the 5 Scots on the floor. And they're going to get a foul out on the edge. That one, they got Michael Teague away from the action. Michael Teague, a freshman for Newman Smith, he's played the entire game. Look at Big Will cutting to the basket. He's going to draw the foul. And shoot 2.
You love to see that. I mean, Newman Smith is definitely not a big team. They're a guard-heavy, quick, athletic team. We could, between Will, Conrad, Drew gets in there. If Graham can get some minutes, getting some points in the paint with using our size.
Saunders cannot get the first free throw to go, as they got Jonathan Woods for that last foul. Saunders cutting to the basket, looking to lay it up. Saunders getting that second free throw to go. He's got 8 on the night, 45-39. Scots lead. And back down to the other side, Newman Smith throwing that one away.
What I say, you get them in that zone. You got to make them make those long skip passes. That's probably the 5th or 6th turnover just on that alone, where they're trying to make a skip pass from one side to the other of the court and they're just throwing it too high.
And here come the Scots back with it. Martinez down the baseline. Stockwood 3. Nothing doing. Big Will soaring high. Up. Draw the foul. Back to the free throw line. And Big Will going to work on the boards.
Let's take advantage of our size.
And he went up high pointed that one. Brought it back down. 7:21. That's where the clock stops here in the fourth quarter.
Will signed his letter of intent with W&L earlier this week. We had signing day on February 5th or 6th. Or 5th or 6th, 4th. We had several Highland Park athletes from football and baseball, and then Will was our lone basketball signee this week. Lydia Fisher, Drew's older sister, signed with Gonzaga for volleyball as well on signing day.
Nice. And a big shout out and congratulations to the young men and ladies at Highland Park who signed national letters of intent. And Chris Martinez coming up with a steal. Draws the foul. Jonathan Woods saw him get ready to get on the run, and he said, no, sir, let me slow this down. Woods is going to sub out, subbing in for him, number 15, Jaden Collins. And Kaplan's going to throw it into Martinez. Chase Edmond right there one-on-one with Martinez. They battled all night.
See the pressure. They're definitely overplaying everything.
Davin Beal also in the game for Newman Smith. Beal whistled for a foul.
They've definitely said we're not going to give up threes. We're not going to let Highland Park beat us at the three-point line at the arc. Every three-point shot, everything, all the passes on the around the perimeter are being heavily contested. the shot fake there and penetrates what we got to do. That was a great play by Cannon.
And Cannon Wyatt, shooting free throw number 1. Got that one to go. He's got 14. We see Grandpa Wyatt in the crowd this evening, sitting right below us. Cannon Wyatt cannot get the second free throw to go. 47-39. Scots lead. They have started the fourth quarter. 3-0 run. It was 44-39 when the quarter started. All 3 points have come at the free throw line. 2 from Big Will Saunders, 1 from Cannon Wyatt. Newman Smith with it. Edmond gets it out to Michael T. And T looking for somebody. Big Will to steal. Big Will on the move, slows it down. Cannonball, 3-pointer. Cannonball run. 17 points from Cannon Wyatt. 50-39, the lead.
Well, you don't see that a lot when you kind of pass up on that first look and you hesitate a little bit. Usually it doesn't turn out to be good. Cannon said, I'm 3 feet behind the line. You take an extra dribble, get right up on the line, and he knocked it down.
6-0 run to start the final quarter of regulation. And the Scots lead by 11. Clock has stopped here at the 6-minute and 16-second mark. And Cannon Wyatt on fire. Passed up, as you stated, on that first 3-pointer tip and said, you know what, let me get a little bit closer. Drains it.
Proximity to the basket usually isn't Cannon's issue. He's got what they call parking lot range, and he's not afraid to take them from the parking lot there. He just said, oh, nobody's on me. I'm going to take an extra step up and knock it down.
And we've seen it a few times this year, very similar to what you might see Damian Lillard do in an all-star game. Or if you remember, Jamal Crawford never saw a shot that he didn't like.
That's right.
Whether it was an all-star game, a pickup game, or live action. Right. Jamal Crawford would fire it up from the bus in the tunnel.
The Michigan Wolverine, correct?
Yes, indeed.
Well, Brother Brian, probably on the broadcast tonight. Proud alum of the Maize and Blue.
Love it. Jamal was fun to watch. Him, Lou Williams, 2 of my favorites. Newman Smith with it. Corner 3, nothing doing. Big Wheel trying to get there. Possession, Newman Smith. Saunders hustling. .556. Scott's looking to close this one out. Teague with it. Freshman on freshman. Chris Martinez. Michael Teague going to work. And Cade Kaplan.
I didn't see that.
I thought it would have been possession Scots. Ref said no, sir. Possession Newman Smith. And Teague, top of the key, gets it over to Edmond. Thought about pulling the trigger. He gets it in for a mid-range. Big Will to rebound. And Martinez bringing it up the floor. Martinez, Teague, over to Noble. Cade Kaplan swing it back around to Big Will. There's Cannon Wyatt with it. And Wyatt back to Noble. Big Will on the post. Cannonball run. Cannot finish. Rebound. Beal. Newman Smith on the run. Edmond with it.
See the backdoor cut there. They're going to overplay. We just got to knock those down. But it was a good looking set we got there. Get the ball to the free throw line. They're going to overplay the 3-point shot. Go ahead and backdoor them.
And Jeremiah Sweet had an opportunity. Beal, Davin Beal, a big 3. Junior forward, his first 3 of the night, 50-42. Highland Park lead. Chris Martinez through traffic, down the lane. Nothing doing. Rebounded. Big Wheel with it. Ball rotation. 11 points for Big Wheel. Highland Park back up by 10. And Saunders staying active on the paint. Michael Teague the 3. Nothing doing. Followed. Can't go. Jeremiah Sweet with another follow. He's got 9 points. 52-44. Approaching that 4-minute mark in regulation. And Martinez got it over to Noble. He's going to go back to Wyatt. Wyatt, baseline. Martinez cutting to the basket. Beautiful execution. Beautiful getting to the basket. You see a lane, you get there. Get the pass, lay it up. Chris Martinez Jr., 8 points. Timeout. Newman Smith.
It's 2 great passes by Cannon, 2 straight possessions. Moving it, getting the easy look for a layup. First one came on a little bit of a scramble, pass. Find the open man. That's a nice penetration, get in the paint, dish it off.
3:53 to go in regulation. Scots back up by 10. And so far, the Scots 10-5. That is the fourth quarter scoring. And you see both Coach Johnson, Percy Johnson, he's got that white clipboard out, as does Coach Peeler. Coach Johnson telling the Trojans, hey, this thing's not over. Let's keep going. Peeler saying, hey, let's shut it down and get out of here.
Yeah, let's settle back into our zone. See if we can get them to throw the ball away or take an ill-advised shot. The offensive rebounds haven't really killed us a lot tonight. That's something we're susceptible to. But if we get them to take a bad shot, we got to make sure we clean up the boards and don't let them get second chance opportunities.
Yeah, those guards, they have been getting to the basket for opportunities to follow. They've been pretty active. You talked about their quickness to get there, their quickness to get up and down the court in a hurry. Jeremiah Sweet turns it over. Not quite. I thought Conrad Noble or Cade Kaplan had a steal.
Looked like it actually may have gone off the baseline, but Conrad's the last to touch it.
Teague throws it in. Beal corner 3. Nothing doing.
No,
look at Cade Kaplan with the box out.
Yep.
Will Saunders came down with the rebound, but Cade Kaplan with a huge box out.
We had Conrad on the offside, Cannon on the strong side, and there was nobody in the paint for Newman Smith. Will just got a rebound that basically hit the ground.
There it is right there. Martinez the feed. Wyatt straight down Main Street for 2 more. Cannon Wyatt's got 19 points, 56-44. Highland Park leads. Michael Teague, he's going to draw the foul. He's going to shoot 2. I think they got Big Will for that one.
Yeah.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, and there's one where you got him to take kind of an erratic bad shot on that first one, and then just the ball gets loose and get an offensive rebound. Now they're going to the line.
Charlton Bradford, Alex Stockwood at the scorer's table. Michael Teague, his first point of the night. Stockwood, Bradford in. Kaplan, Noble, a break. Saunders, Martinez, Wyatt, still on the floor. 56-45. Scots the lead. 3:01, that's where we sit. Teague hits both free throws.
Anticipate, some full court. Here we go. They're going to three-quarter court kind of trap pressure that they've got set up.
And Charlton Bradford get it over to Cannon Wyatt. Nice mid-range. Cannon Wyatt, 21 points. Scots lead 58-46. Teague thought about pulling it. Corner 3, nothing doing on that one. Jeremiah Sweet throws it in, but Cannon Wyatt comes up with it. Jeremiah Sweet steals it away.
Active hands. Got to be strong with the ball.
58-48, the lead for Highland Park. Jeremiah Sweet, 10 points. Scots get it across midcourt. Cannon Wyatt, the feed to Stockwood. Oh, Bradford offensive rebound. Bradford cleans it up. And there, we get some tempo going in this one. Big Wheel cleaning it up. Cannon Wyatt with it.
Not the pace we need. Here we go. Coach Peeler's saying slow down. There's no reason. We do not want to get into a frantic pace at this point. 2 minutes left. The clock is our friend. Slow pace is the friend. Half court offense and defense for us is our friend. We do not need them getting out in transition.
Get Davin Beal for that one. Cannon Wyatt back to the free throw line. Scots lead 60-48. And Wyatt, another free throw, gets that one to go. Noble, Kaplan, Ian. Martinez takes a seat as does Stockwood.
Get a little more size. Rebounding is going to be big here. Again, if we can make our free throws and clean up the offensive glass, we're going to go home with a win tonight.
Chase Edmond, big three. 17 points from Chase Edmond. Conrad Noble getting it over to Bradford in a hurry. And Newman Smith trying to turn up the pressure defensively. 1 minute and 30 seconds and ticking here in the fourth quarter. Cade Kaplan with it. Getting it over to Bradford. And they say he traveled. Martinez going to sub back in. Bradford, a break.
Yeah, now ball handling, get Chris back in. Again, the last kind of minute and a half here, we got to take care of the ball, make free throws.
62-51, 123. That's where we sit. And the Scots looking to shut this one down. Chase Edmond getting it in the Sweet. He cuts down to the baseline. And Jeremiah Sweet, he's got 13 points. Timeout on the floor, 62-53. Newman Smith got it back down to single digits. Trojans refusing to go away quietly.
Nope. Hasn't gotten any cooler in this gym either.
No, it has not. Still a bit toasty in here.
Pretty good shoe game tonight. I know you're a big fan of the shoe game.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Yes, indeed. That Kobe Bryant, I tell you, we see his influence night in and night out. Not just from the Scots, but the opponents, the Colony, Wakeland, Newman Smith tonight. You see a couple of guys wearing some Kevin Durant's this evening. I see a couple Jai Morant sneaker sightings.
We call that putting it on a tee. I just set that up for you. I knew that you probably recognized every shoe that's on the court. Just give you an opportunity to show off your chops there.
And not just that, Kobe with the Nikes, but I see some Kobe Bryant Adidas on the floor as well. That was Kobe's first sneaker deal. He had Adidas before he went over to Nike. Back to action. Because we start talking sneakers, we'll be here all night. Cade Kaplan with it. He had to call timeout.
I have elite breakdown of the game. You have elite shoe game recognition.
Hey, that it's part of the it's a part of the culture, the basketball culture. We grew up with it, of course. Michael Jordan. That was our time. Him, Charles Barkley, Scottie Pippen.
When I played, we had Air Force Ones and Elites, Nike Elites. But we had a practice shoe and a game shoe.
Yes, sir.
You go into my son's room, and he's got a whole closet full. He's actually got a case where he's got let me just tell you, there's more than a practice shoe and a game shoe in his closet.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I haven't seen it this year, but I know in the past, a couple of years back, quite a few of the Scots basketball players would take the court wearing some LaMelo Ball Pumas. And LaMelo Ball has one of the more comfortable shoes around. My son Emmett, big LaMelo Ball guy. He loves them. Cannon Wide can't get the first one to go. You see Conrad Noble sub in, as does Charlton Bradford, Stockwood, Kaplan going to take a seat. You see Noble and Bradford coming in for defense, I assume, John.
That's right. Again, we just got to knock down free throws. 1 of 2's good.
24 points for Cannon Wyatt. Look at Big Wheel soaring high for the rebound. Charlton Bradford comes up with it, ties them up. They say possession Newman Smith. Tied up by 2 guys from Newman Smith.
I don't have rebounding numbers. We don't have a spotter with us, but I'm guessing Will's in double digits.
Chase Edmond, the quick trigger. Chase Edmond.
Got to call
20 points for Chase. And they're going to get him for a foul that time. 63-56, Highland Park leads. 38.5 seconds left in this one. And Martin is going to go to the free throw line and shoot 2. Martin has got the first one to go. 9 points for the night. 10 points. Chris Martinez. And the Scots, 3 players in double-digit scoring. Davin Beal, a 3. Jeremiah Sweet the rebound. Edmond from long range. Chase Edmond shot that one from Josie Lane. Martinez with it. Jeremiah Sweet the steal. Michael Teague getting it over to Jaden Collins. Nothing doing. Cannon Wyatt the rebound. Draws the foul from Michael Teague.
Boy, that was a big miss. It got frantic there. A long rebound on the first 3. They get a second chance, knock one down. A little turnover. That was big. Big miss. That would have cut it to 3 with 15 seconds left. Now we can ice this right here.
65-59, 15.7 left. Cannon Wyatt can't get the first one to go.
The way the night's going, I mean, Cannon's a 85, 90% free throw shooter. Missed a few tonight.
Get the second one to go. And he's got 25 points. And Charlton Bradford, they're going to get him for that one.
We had 1 foul in the quarter. It's a smart play there. It was not anything malicious or dirty. He's just trying to get a good hard foul, and hopefully Newman Smith player is okay.
It's one of those things that's unfortunate that happens during the game. And Wyatt just trying to stop the action. As you said, with a foul to give. Refs are in discussion.
Newman Smith crowd's getting a little upset. I understand the guy's down, but that was just a good hard play.
Yeah, Bradford didn't intend to hurt a guy. It's just one of those situations where things happen. It's unfortunate. Hope the young man is okay.
Yeah, he went into the bench, and hopefully he just got banged onto the bench there, and it's a bump and bruise versus something getting twisted. I'm a little gun shy with kids laying on the ground and twisted joints after what happened with Anderson first game of the season.
Yes, sir. Very much. 66-59, that's where we are. 12.6 seconds to go in this one. More parents in the crowd. We see Matthew Wyatt, Cannon's dad. Cade Kaplan's dad also in the crowd. Round of applause for the young man, Michael Teague.
Yeah,
he is up, walking.
Yeah, he's just holding his hip. I think he banged it on the fall there. All right, 12 and a half seconds left, 7-point lead. Make sure nothing crazy happens here. It's really hard, we've talked about before, without the clock stopping on a made basket for them to do much. I'm not sure how many timeouts they have left, but it's hard to overcome a 7-point lead with 12 seconds left.
Gregory Dudley in the game for Teague. Looking to get it in. This guy's trying to finish this one. Get it over to Chase Edmond. The 3. Edmond, nothing doing. Rebounded Jeremiah Sweet to tie up. And we got a foul.
This guy's got a foul. Okay, they got it right. No, they called a foul.
The jump ball possession, Highland Park. Excuse me, possession Newman Smith.
They called, the ref out here called 11, not jump.
Yes, sir.
That's what the scorer's table is asking. Is it a foul or is it a jump?
A lot going on in this one.
Coach Peeler all the way across the court.
Coach Peeler was across half court coaching, and the Newman Smith people didn't like it.
They don't like it at all. They don't like a lot of what's going on here. We got to get on the bus and get out of here.
They throw it in, and there is Dudley Davenville, the long three. That's how the game ends. Big Will with the rebound, and Scotts find a way.
That's what that was. I would not call it pretty. You see Coach Peeler's reaction afterwards. That was more of a sigh of relief than being happy with the way we played. But a win's a win. Scotties find a way.
Yes,
now
sir.
we can start talking a little bit about next week. I was holding on to this because we don't want to get ahead of ourselves. This now sets up a matchup with Reedy on Tuesday night. Assuming Reedy, I can't remember who their matchup was with tonight, but assuming they come out on top, well, either way, we'll be playing Tuesday night basically for the district championship.
Absolutely. Highland Park moving to 19-10 overall, 9-2 in district. Ever so important district play.
If we've got any Highland Park fans that would normally make it to home games on the broadcast tonight, we're going to need you at Highlander Fieldhouse on Tuesday night. Let's pack the gym and be rowdy and loud, and let's see if we can get our first district championship in, I think, 3 years. The last one was 2022. This will be the first in 4 years where we win an outright district championship. So it's not actually, I don't think, mathematically done. What it does is it gives us a 2-game lead with 2 to play with the tiebreaker over Reedy. You know, we would have to lose both, and then the Colony at that point would have a chance. Well, yeah, because they would have 3 losses. We'd have to lose our last 2. So puts us in a real good position to kind of salt away the district championship and then start thinking about playoffs.
And Reedy, they played R.L. Turner tonight.
Okay, so you got to assume a win there.
Absolutely.
For Reedy, and then they would come into the game into Highlander also with 2 losses. And, again, like I said, 2 teams playing for first place and for the district championship.
Updated list of leading scorers the end of the night. Newman Smith first, 23 points from Chase Edmond. 15, Jonathan Woods. Michael Teague had 2. 13, Jeremiah Sweet. Jaden Collins with 3. Davenville with 3. For your Highland Park Scots, Cannon Wyatt led the way with 25 points. Chris Martinez Jr. with 10. 8 from Alex Stockwood. Charlton Bradford, 4. Will Saunders had 11. And a whole host of rebounds. Ton of rebounds. Cade Kaplan round out the scoring with 8 points himself.
And those were 8 big buckets for Cade. Like we talked about before, you know, coming off of a game where he didn't play his, you know, he would say not his best game. Also didn't get a ton of minutes the way that went with Alex getting a lot of minutes, having the hot hand. And for him to come back today, hit some big buckets. He wasn't just hitting shots. He was, you know, distributing the ball, great passes, great defense. It was a great overall effort by all the Scots tonight.
Absolutely, and a great effort from our broadcast team. Ty Owens, the cameraman. We had some wild logistics early, but you know what? He got us going. And we were on time too for the opening tip and the national anthem and the starting lineup. John Hochter, thank you as always. You have been a breath of fresh air for every single broadcast. Your company is appreciated. I'm thankful for you.
Well, I appreciate you, and we appreciate you behind the mic every game. And I know those Tuesday nights doing color and play-by-play by yourself, it's a lot. But I'm going to be across the way from you on Tuesday night, sitting on the home side in my seat, watching you. And like always, I go home after the game and watch the broadcast, rewatch the game, and you do a great job.
And again, this Tuesday night, Highland Park will host Frisco Reedy. Both teams tied for first place in the district, 9-2. So that is a must-win game for both. Both teams are going to want it. Until Tuesday night, my name is Matthew Bryce. We say thank you for tuning in to Game On Sports Network for Highland Park basketball. Scots victorious over Newman Smith, 66-59. I'm Matthew. That's John Hochter. We say God bless. We say game on.